Here are 3 different leg press or squat machines. We're going to analyze them and work out why they're so good and how they fill in the gaps of traditional free weight squats, whether it's with barbell or with specialty bars like this safety squat bar. This isn't going to be a battle to the death between the two where you have to choose one or the other. The fact is, both free weights and machines have their own benefits and drawbacks and should both feature in a training routine. This is about highlighting some of the features that a lot of people overlook when it comes to machines. Let's first talk about the similarities between all 3 machines. They all take you through a similar squat motion and they all provide you with a decent amount of stability, so you can focus all your efforts towards pushing hard and less on technique cues that you might need to be more mindful of on a traditional free weight squat. The main difference between these 3 machines is how the weight moves in space as you go through the squat motion. The hack squat has the weight moving on a linear 45-degree angle as you squat, whilst the swing squat and this particular leg press move on an arcing motion. The swing squat allows the weight to move further away from the pivot point of the machine as you squat up. By doing so, this increases the resistance of the weight on the machine, making it harder at the top of the exercise, whilst making it easier at the bottom. This is the complete opposite of a traditional free weight squat, where due to the mechanics of the squat and how gravity works, it's hardest at the bottom of the exercise. This leg press does the complete opposite to the swing squat. As you press up to the top of the exercise, the weight pendulums in closer to the pivot point, making the exercise easier at the top and hardest at the bottom. This is similar to a traditional free weight squat, but you get the added bonus of stability from the machine. The hack squat doesn't change at all. The resistance from the weight on the machine is pretty consistent throughout the squat motion. So we're just dealing with the mechanics of a squat, similar to a traditional free weight squat. So at the bottom of the squat, that'll be the hardest position. But again, we get the extra stability from the machine that allows us to push harder and potentially with better access to a larger range of motion. So what we're really looking at here is the fact that machines allow us to challenge the squat pattern in different positions, most notably overloading the bottom more or challenging the top, where we're traditionally not being challenged as much. There's also one bonus machine that I wanted to show you. Take a look at the weight horns here and see how they move through space as they go through the motion. This is pretty cool, as which horn you choose to place the weight on will dictate where in the range of motion the exercise is at its hardest. So is there any real benefit to doing this over a traditional squat? From a muscle building perspective, there might be. We know for building muscle mass, it's incredibly important to be applying mechanical tension to your muscle fibers. Doing so at different muscle lengths or positions may be able to give us a more complete muscle building stimulus. For example, if all we did was free weight squats, split squats, lunges, and even leg presses, these are all typically hardest at the bottom, where the muscles are more lengthened. But there aren't many exercises that are challenging the muscle when it's outside of that position. It doesn't mean you won't grow muscle mass at all if you don't do this and stuck with only free weights. This is simply one extra consideration to make. When choosing exercises, machines like leg presses may allow you to closely mimic or switch up the way that the weight applies stress to our muscles, which, outside of purely providing a novel stimulus, may also be beneficial to filling in some of the gaps that free weights have. So what do you think? Are machines a worthwhile investment for your training goals? I think there's a lot of stigma against machines, and unfortunately a lot of it simply comes from those who have a poor understanding on the context of how to apply them based on their benefits and their drawbacks over free weights. Hope you guys enjoyed this quick dive into some of the main differences between machines. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more bite-sized training and nutrition tips, and I'll see you all next time.